Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of our House Clegane playthrough here on Crusader Kings 2, A Game of Thrones. Now, if you didn't last watch the last episode, then I could speak in that one. I can't speak in this one apparently. We actually managed to take Tendring from the Brooms, I believe it was, who owned it before. So we now have two pieces of land actually. We have Fang Tower, of course, our ancestral home, and Tendring now as well. So we have two of the four regions of Casterly Rock. Unfortunately, of course, Casterly Rock currently owned by King Tyrion, so it's going to be a bit difficult to kind of wrangle that from him. And we also have an alliance, I believe an alliance with Tywell Lannister. So we can't, just go in and attack Lannisport. So I think at this point we're going to have to start thinking about moving a bit further away. Maybe looking to take some of these lands down here. Maybe try and take the High Lordship of Crakehall if we want to carry on like that. I mean, there are other lands. We do have Sarsfield, but I believe we have an alliance with someone here as well. I don't know, maybe we don't. So, possibly Sarsfield is a target. Apparently he's my rival for some reason. Oh no, I can just duel him. I'm not sure why. I don't want to duel him. But yeah, because of the kind of alliance, obviously, between the Lannisters of Lannisport and the Lannisters of Casterly Rock, and the alliances between us and Lannisport, the only real way we would be able to take this is through intrigue. We could try, kill off Tywell, kill off his daughter now, and try and work their way down to Tyr Lannister, who is my son's betrothed wife. So that's a possibility, but that is going to be quite difficult to achieve, obviously, because we have about, I think, is it 4 people then to assassinate? Yeah, Norwyn, Tywell, and Lucille Lannister. So would be a little bit difficult. I think we might try it. We might have the plot sort of running in the background. Not really spending too much on it. I mean, if we could get Jeremy on our side, we have a massive advantage. 94% of our plot power would increase, but he's not, likely to join our cause. So we're going to leave it for now. We'll have it going, and in the meantime, we're going to look elsewhere where else to conquer. I mean, maybe Case is a target. Possibly. I mean, it's a bit out of the way, unfortunately. But, I mean, he doesn't have a massive army. 5.36 thousand men. We have 4,000 men, and we have more levies to be recruited in Tendring. So, I reckon we'll have about, as we have a... Oh, she died stillborn. My nephew's daughter, Baratheon. We have a couple more men to join. I think we'll probably end up with about 5,000 men to go with, which is a decent number. We have, the money to improve. In fact, we're very close to finishing this ambition of gaining wealth, which gives us another point to our stewardship skill, which will, of course, help as well. I can take on my son as a squire now as well, so we'll have both my sons as my squires. We managed to complete that ambition, so we'll pick another one. Possibly gain an honorary title, but we're not, a major lord at the moment, so maybe that's not going to work. Maybe a lifestyle. If we could become a duelist, that'd be brilliant, but maybe that's not likely to happen. But with that money, we are going to improve Fang Tower. We're going to improve the castle town to get us some more tax income, and I think when I have the money, I'll also improve Tendring a little bit. I'll maybe give them private farms, so a couple more troops and a bit more tax income. But Tendring, not really sort of a main focus at the moment. We want to make sure Fang Tower is the best it can be, basically, because it is, of course, our homeland. I realise I've been talking very quickly for a few minutes. I'm trying to figure out what to do, basically, because I don't want to just sit here and consolidate. I want to keep pushing forward now that we've got some progress. Our sons, of course, are still being tutored. My son Claude and Braun. One's huge, one's strong, so they're going to be very good commanders in the future. And we do have our other son Traegar, who is engaged to Lady Amiri of the Trident. So we're going to have a lot of alliances, as you can see. If we go back to our packs, we have an alliance with Edric Baratheon, with Edmure Tully, Arnulf Manderley, King of White Harbour, Lady of the Blue Fork, which is somewhere over there. The Lannisports as well. We have an alliance with B Cup for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. We could also form an alliance with Tyrion. Oh, and no, okay, the Prince of the Ronya, or Ronya. I never know how to say that. He doesn't want to form an alliance, which is understandable, to be honest. Tywell of Lannisport has gone into hiding. I presume possibly he caught whiff of our plan to kill him. But that actually has just made more people want to join. Obviously, they think their lord is a bit of a coward. So, we might as well, to be honest. We need to educate our daughter. She'll be educated at court, and, of course, the best education, as always. We You realise that to become a great fighter, you would need to get in better shape. There is a great path in the nearby woods that would be excellent for running. Let's go running. So he's gone into hiding, and I think, to be honest, it is worth doing this now. Because if I'm just going to pause it for a second while I talk myself through this more than anything. So if he dies, it goes to Lucia Lannister, who's actually strong, so possibly actually quite easy to kill her, it looks like. So if he dies now, then it goes to his daughter. If she dies, I presume it'll go to Norwin Lannister, who is now old enough to be married, but obviously hasn't had a child yet. So if we could kind of dispatch him quite quickly, then it'll pass to Tyr Lannister, I presume, because he doesn't have any other sons. And she's married to Claude Clegane, just a normal marriage. So any descendants they have will be Clegane's, and in fact will be the next playable character I have. So surely then they would take Lannisport if I'm planning... Why do I have a prisoner? When did this happen? Who do I have in prison? Sindra Hawthorne. Why do I have Sindra Hawthorne in prison? Ah, one of the brooms. That'd explain it. Okay, he will not accept my offer. To be honest, I don't really see a reason to keep her in jail. Maybe some people disagree, but I just think release her and kind of get her away. Sort of away from my court completely. So of course they are possibly going to be a problem at some point, the brooms, if they want to take their land back. Let's have a look at the claimants for tendering. Just Olimar and Celia then, so not a lot. And the lordship and tendering will be passed on to his descendant, but they've only got one daughter, and hers will also be inherited, but again, not too many worries. And although Lord Hugh of Red Ramble then might end up with a claim. Where's Red Ramble? There. So it's not actually in our kingdom, so we should be safe from that. Need another bodyguard, apparently. Let's make sure we've got all the other titles. Someone can be our High Almoner. Who needs to improve? I'd rather our bodyguards be happy with us, so we'll give him the title of High Almoner. Now, who's our best fighter? We've got someone of 8 there. 7.5, 4.5, 4, 5.5, 4. We'll go with the 8. Is that my wife? No, it's my courtier. Okay. One of the Freys. She'll be my bodyguard as well. Not the best fighter, but to be honest, I've never really found it makes much of a difference if they are good or not. As my mother wants to replace my wife as the regent. Oh, she can get married now, actually. But I don't want to see much point. She's 71 years old now. She's not going to have any more children. We are pretty much it. Claude is improving in swordsmanship. That's good. He's now a trained fighter, which is brilliant. I think always if you get to about skilled fighter, that tends to be the best. I mean, obviously he can be a formidable fighter, but I've never actually found... oh, looks like the Night's Watch has been reinstated. Yeah, there you go. Someone managed to... Alright, I get it. So he's managed to take back the wall now. He's got a lot of titles to give out, though. They actually been rebuilding. It looks like some people have been rebuilding the castles on the walls, so it's going to be stronger than ever, actually, which is interesting. As Jon Snow takes the rule of Eastwatch. Of course he does. So yeah, we're kind of waiting pretty much now for this plot. I'm going to check the power. 119%. Is there anyone else? There are 2 other people that will join. I'll send him a gift of 15 gold. We can afford that. How much does he want? He wants 15 gold as well. It's worth doing it because then they can help us with our other plots. When guests arrive, my son Braun is the first to greet them and shower them with questions. The child clearly has potential. Gives him the trait of gregarious, which improves his diplomacy and attraction and vassal opinion, which will all be good. The more land we own, basically the better, because I now have 3 sons, so if we could take a high lordship, then we could give that land to our sons and they will be able to keep it and hopefully get along, basically. It's kind of my thinking. I keep forgetting I'm only 30 years old. It feels like Arnold's been alive a lot longer, but we are only 30 years old, so we've got plenty of time left to expand our realm and, you know, give the best future possible for our sons. I realise the game's still paused, I don't know why. Castletown has been built, so we're going to get a lot more tax income now, which will be helpful. And hopefully a few more troops will be coming along soon. The hills and mountains of the west are famous for their ample supplies of gold and silver. We've located a new seam, which apparently might yield much precious metal. Shall we build a new mine? So we can pay 27 gold and we'll have a 35% chance of some success, 25% chance of gold, 10% chance of a roaring success, or 30% chance of failure. I think it's worth the risk. Of course, in the books and in the series it's mentioned that the mines in the Westerlands actually ran dry, which is why the Lannisters lost a lot of their power. So if we can find a new stream, that would be very useful for us as a family. Gives us a nice lot of gold to improve our land with. Why aren't you dead yet? This isn't working out as quickly as I was hoping. This guy, for some reason, has been invited, but apparently doesn't want to accept, but is just waiting for an answer from him. I'm going to send... Oh, I can't send a gift. I don't have any money. I might send a gift to Master Jeremy anyway, because he may join in with other plots if we get him to like us a bit more. Are we in any factions? We're going to join the Crown Loyalist faction. Hopefully make Tyrion Lannister like us a little bit more. 63-year-old Tyrion, still going strong. Still a kinslayer, blind from age now. His heir, Prince Tion of the Rock, another dwarf, an ugly dwarf, married to a hill. Oh dear, not the strongest family line you could have married into, but fair enough. My liege, my work in Lannisport seems to have come to fruition by bribing, cajoling, and exhorting, threatening, and forging documents. I don't remember asking him to do that. Ah, you see, the problem is I have my spymaster in Casterly-le-Rock when I wanted the spymaster in Lannisport. I'm going to use it anyway, so we have a claim just in case we need it. I know it costs us a lot of gold, and we're supposed to be improving diplomatic relations with... Actually, you know what? Let's just fabricate claims. See what happens, basically. Might as well get a claim on everything we can in this area, because it would be nice to have the High Lordship of Casterly-le-Rock, because it's kind of right in the middle, and we've got lots of room to expand into. I know I'm playing this very much like a normal strategy game, but I feel like that's the best way I'd play. So my daughter now needs a tutor, someone who's good at either intrigue or diplomacy. We have Lothar. Lothar, is that Lothar the Lame? Yeah, it will be, won't it? Yeah, Lothar the Lame. Yeah, we'll go with him because he's got good diplomacy and intrigue. Character that's, again, sort of mentioned in the series, but not so much. Someone wants Serene Lock and Tobot Lock to marry. Fair enough, why not? No reason not to. Is this my... trying to figure out why it's telling me that Nymeria Sand died. I'm not that interested, to be honest. So we are currently in debt, which is a bit annoying. Haha, it worked out. Good news, the mining operation has brought in a veritable mountain of gold into our coffers. The mines were bringing ore almost day and night and day, and all agree it was one of the finest seams any miner had ever seen. Brilliant, so we've managed to get all that gold back. So we're now in profit. And managed to get some nice prestige out of it as well. We're a very prestigious character at the moment, so... that's always nice to see from our characters. He is still stressed for some reason, I can't remember why. But our son, developing nicely, ambitious, honest, skilled fighter now, strong and temperate. He is slothful still, which is a bit annoying. And I'm not sure how you can be ambitious and slothful, as Lady Gwyneth of Pike died. Fair enough. Not sure why that's relevant, but we'll go with it. I know it's because they're kind of in this important character bit, but actually, she's not, so I don't know why they were there. Samwell Tarly, still going strong. 57-year-old Samwell Tarly. Brilliant. Ooh, Pike seems to be affected by pneumonia at the moment, because another person's just died of pneumonia. There's a nasty case of it going around or something. So yeah, we're sort of waiting to see if we can get this plot to work. At the moment, not. I'm going to send some gold to Jeremy, just to make him like us a bit more. Because, he may then help out later on in other plots. Oops, someone died. Lorien Lork is no longer my Justiciar, so we need someone else who's good at diplomacy. We'll give it to Prince Walder, why not? He's been loyal to us, he's not the best, but he's alright. And again, we'll fabricate claims on Casterly-le-Rock, which is a bit of a risky manoeuvre, but I feel like it's worth going for anyway, just so we have claims on all this if we want to use them at some point. And we have plenty of allies as well, so I'm not too worried about anyone attacking us, because we can always call them into war. Which is useful to have, especially considering the king is on our side, which seems like a powerful ally to have, hopefully. My son Braun is aiming for the stars, the ambitious little brat. That is only right. We want ambitious Cleganes. I mean, this might now be a bit risky if he doesn't take the lead command. You know, if his brother gets the titles ahead of him, he may be unhappy with that, but ambitious improves all his skills. Wow, there's a lot of raiding at the moment. Got about 6 messages now of raiding. All of them attacking the Westerlands. Luckily none of our lands, because we're slightly inland, so it's not likely the Greyjoys will go for us, but still a bit worrying to see how much raiding is going on. I mean, technically it helps us because it lowers the money and troops of other bits of land. Tyrrell's still in hiding. I know he is our ally, which is a bit of a weird thing to be trying to kill him off, but... King Tion is now... Tyrion died a natural death, so we now have King Tion, who does have ice, I've just noticed as well. Who's his heir? Another Prince Tion. So he needs to have a son. All hail the King of the Rock. He's taken over from his father. Your friend Sir Bennis Fossaway has died, has he? Died of a... I didn't realise he's my friend, to be honest, but... just a small private funeral, because I don't know who he is, basically. The unfortunate thing. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting for this plot now to see if this works out, because if we can manage to slowly kill off that family... Where's all the plot power gone? It was like 140% or something like that. Sir Arnold Clegane, I hereby invite you to participate in the tourney of Ashmark, where the best knights and lords of the Westlands will be invited to compete. A chance to prove my worth. Yeah, people seem to have disappeared from my plot. I don't know when that happened. I can get Norwin to join in, his brother. So try and get him to join in, because he has the advantage now, of course, that if you manage to kill him off, he's a step closer. King Tion wants me to be his chief general. I'll accept, why not? My Lord Treasurer just died as well, and we have no one good. So we'll look for someone who we can invite to our court who is better at stewardship than that. Not rulers, and needs to be male, everything else is fine. We've got quite a few good people here. Lord Treasurer of Biloth. He's good, so we'll invite him. We'll invite two of them, actually, just in case one dies. We have a backup steward, essentially. Is there anyone that's really good at diplomacy? He's not that much better than what we've got, so we're not going to upset Prince Walder. We'll leave it how it is. So when one of them comes in, we will give them... I didn't even read that. I thought that was someone coming to our court, but it wasn't. I think it was something about my son. There we go. So he's joined our court now, so we'll... For some reason, we can't assign... is he a maester? I'm very confused what just happened there. So we're now in this tournament. As I said, we've seen this enough times that we know kind of what the text says, so I'm not going to stop and read it all the way through. We are actually fighting Prince Walder first, so let's see if we can manage to beat him. We get the first hit, and that's it. We managed to knock him off his horse. A fine hit against the Prince. So who's our next opponent? Tyrone Lannister. Decent duelist, skilled fighter, incompetent commander, but he is a knight. So this could be an interesting battle. We'll see how this goes. We managed to hit him first. Do we manage to knock him off, though? Not quite. We managed to hit him again, though. Where's this steward gone? I thought I invited two stewards. I don't know if it came up and said he didn't want to join, but I didn't see it. No, he just apparently didn't get the invitation for some reason. We managed to knock him off this time. So we managed to beat Tyrone Lannister, so we move further into the tournament. We are fighting Sir Titus Lannister. He is not a very good duelist, so hopefully we can win. We could pay him off, but I don't feel like doing that. I think we can manage to beat him. Anyway, there we go. Straight off. First hit, we managed to knock him off. And that steward has now arrived, so we can get our treasure. Why aren't they showing up? I'm very confused. He's in my court. Who's he enslaved by? What? Why can't I appoint him to be my steward? I'll try and find someone else, because I'm a bit confused at the moment. For some reason it's saying he's not in my court. Yeah, he's not actually in my court. Fair. He is enslaved, so I can invite him. But then his master obviously brings him back, or I don't know. I'll just invite someone else. So we're now fighting Cavan Kenning. 8 dual skill, skilled fighter, a knight, a dutiful commander. Possibility we'll manage to win this. We managed to hit him. And again, first hit we knock them off. We are turning out to be a very good joustist. Victory is mine. I've defeated all that stood before me. I've won the tournament, so I can either say I'm victorious, take 50 gold and 100 prestige, or I can give some to my squire. I'm going to keep it for myself because the money's going to go to him eventually anyway. It's not an issue. So Maester Elorist now wants to be my Maester as opposed to Maester Garst. Yes, because he's much better. So suddenly that steward, that treasurer to come in. There he is. Okay. Hopefully this time it works. There we go. 17 on his stewardship ability. Straight into Fang Tower. Get me that money. More money we have, the better. So we are currently in Castamere, up here to train troops. This plot really not going as quickly as I thought, to be honest. Kind of thought we'd be done with this by now, but again, the plot power is reduced. I'm not quite sure why. Interesting. Since I came to Castamere, we've never had a shortage of soldiers reinforcing our troops. Hopefully, King Tion appreciates that. He does, +5 for good service. Brilliant. Maybe I need to go about this another way, because this is taking a long time. And it's a lot easier to kill Lucia Lannister. So, I think we're going to swap course now and try and sort of take out everyone else below him and then target him last. Hopefully then people like us a bit more and kind of appreciate our efforts and will join in with the plot. Our Spymaster's not the best, so I think I might look for another one. Now, they can be male or female. In fact, I could have Lothar do it. I guess, can I? No, for some reason I can't. I'm not quite sure why, but we'll have a look for any male or female Spymaster who's better. Ashara, Courtier in 7 Graces, who's got an intrigue of 21. We'll invite her to court anyway. It's always useful to have someone sneaky around. Better than Lady Caroline Sand, who is of course my wife, so she's not going to be very happy about that. But she's also a lunatic I've just spotted, which I don't really think is a safe thing for a Spymaster to be. And that's just going to increase our plot power in Lannisport as well, so it's going to make it a lot easier to deal with this family. So all we need to do is get them down to Tywin Lannister, and then we should inherit that straight away from the Lannisters, essentially. We'll have 3 of the 4 regions in Casterly Rock. I doubt Tion's going to be very happy about that. I need to educate my son Tregor Clegane. I'm actually going to groom him... No, I'm going to be educated at court, because he's not strong and he's not huge, so he's not as military-minded as his brothers. So maybe having him be able to serve them as, you know, a diplomat or a spy or something will be useful. I'm going to build a private farms in Tendring as well, just to, again, increase the troops we've got, increase our income a little bit more, and generally make it a bit nicer if one of my sons inherit it. They'll have a nice bit of land to work with. So I think essentially I'm going to play until some of these plots work out. So we need to kill Lucia Lannister, and then we need to kill Norwin Lannister as well. We can now have a tutor for our son. Hopefully Lothar is still available. It looks like he is available. So we'll get Lothar to train him as well as our daughter. And we also need a commander and a bodyguard, and a master of the hunt as well, apparently. For 7 point, we'll have Sylvia because I think she was the best I saw last time. Master of the hunt I'll give to Master of 7 Rings, because he is a vassal, so he'll give us some troops. And we'll have... who's our maester? I'll have Lorien as our cup... no, he's a wicked priest, I don't really want him. We'll have Walder, actually, as our cupbearer. He's our most loyal servant. We need a better commander. Lots of people being invited to my court right now. We're going to have a massive court by the end of this. But it's worth it to get kind of the best we can get. Viserion is the best marshal in the land, apparently. Barth, Lord Speaker of Pinesea, 23 marshal, brilliant commander. We'll bring him in as our other commander in case we need someone else in battle. Some wars going on in Dawn. My co-conspirator Perianne has managed to get one of the maids near Lucia. For a princely sum, she's agreed to solve our little problem for us. Sure, why not? Hopefully this works out and we don't get sort of caught doing it. So he is now arrived. Barth Icemark. What a name. Barth Icemark. So he's our other commander now. I fear my son Braun is too cynical for his age. Nah, cynicism's good. Although it loses me the trait Zealous, actually, so I don't want that. So we won't make our son cynical. We'll have him be a trusting boy. Someone wants to kill Barth Icemark already. He's only just joined us. So I'm hoping this plot works out. Oh no. Well, we got the trait Dishonourable. They caught us in the act. Oh dear. I'm not going to attend this tournament because I need to focus on sorting this all out. So this might make it a bit more difficult now. If we can kill Norwin Lannister though, he's the last obstacle between us and Tia being in charge. So we'll see if we can get anyone else. No. I don't think people are going to be very pleasant towards us now after murdering a child. I can't go to the tournament. I'm focusing on scheming and plotting. So he is now our rival. We can duel him, actually. Ooh. That's possibly a good idea, actually. Because he is not a very good duelist. He's actually celibate now, so it doesn't matter because he can't have children now. So if he dies, we just need to make sure we kill Norwin before he has any children, and then it will pass to Tyr, because he can't have any more children now, he's celibate. So we won't have to worry about them. So we're going to play a little bit of a waiting game here, I think. We might end up duelling him once we kill off Norwin, although no one wants to join our plot again, which is really annoying. That's going to be a bit of a problem. So he is in Lannisport. I can't duel him because he's not my rival. So, I don't really know how to deal with this now. It's Norwin I want to kill. Yeah, it's becoming more and more difficult to convince people to join my plot. That's the problem. We'll send a gift to their spy master, because having their spy master on hand is always useful. Lady Merys is no longer my chief general. I didn't even realise she was my chief general. So my mother has now died of a natural death. We need a new master of arms. So Barth will become our master of arms, which means we need another commander, which is slightly annoying, but we'll have to deal with it. So we'll see who else is available as a commander. So these are the best warriors in the land. Otho, Master of Arms of Chiltern. Sure, why not? We'll invite him to court. We'll see if there's another one in case we need someone as kind of backup. Now, we'll leave it like that for now. So my mother has now died, my mother and father both. He can be our new commander, and also hopefully my bodyguard. That'd be useful. He's got a dual skill of 10, so we'll have him as our bodyguard. I am quite tempted to duel Tywell, because it might make it easier if Norwin is actually Lord of Lannisport to assassinate him. You know what? Let's make this interesting. Let's duel Tywell of Lannisport. Or we'll challenge him to duel. He may not accept. He has chosen to accept my combat, so he is not a very good warrior. So this should be pretty easy for us. So we'll go through this. You and Lord Tywell slowly circle each other, tense and focused. You scan him for any sign of weakness, any opening in his defence that you could possibly exploit. So we can go for speed, power, or take a defensive stance. I think we'll just go for speed and try and get him. So he did manage to strike him. Easily break through Lord Tywell's guard and knock him to the ground. He lies sprawled at your feet, completely at your mercy. We're going to kill him. So there we go. Tywell of Lannisport has been... It says slayed in cold blood. We had a duel. I don't think it was cold blood. We did have an arrangement there. So we managed to win the duel. And we have become a duelist. So that also completes our ambition to adopt a lifestyle. So this is going really well. 2% chance to be a formidable fighter. Didn't happen though, unfortunately. But we are now a duelist as well. So this puts Norwin of Lannisport in charge of Lannisport. Our plot power is now 108%, and I'm not too concerned if they find out we murdered him. Because if we have a look at his heir is Tyr Lannister, who is of course betrothed to Claude. So hopefully this is all going to work out. I need a new ambition. I'll just do the ambition to have 5 children. I don't think I'm going to manage the pious one or become regent. So we're going to go with have 5 children. And I'm actually going to wrap the episode up now because I don't want this to be too long. So next episode we'll try and carry on... Oops, why did it jump up there? Try and carry on our schemes to wipe out the Lannisters of Lannisport until Tyr Lannister takes charge of Lannisport, which will then allow us to eventually inherit it. So it'll all work out nice and precious. Nice and precious? That's not a sentence. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please do feel free to leave a like. It is always appreciated when people do. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.